We're excited to welcome Candice Cain to our program today as we're taping in Long Island, New York today for Cyrus Webb Presents. Candice, thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Candice is the writer and director of What Happened Last Night. We actually, for those joining us on the television side of our program, will be interviewing some of the other cast members of the program. But Candice, what has it been like for you already to see the response to the show?
It has been an unbelievable whirlwind. It's been huge. I went out to Los Angeles for the American film market, and the interest, I was just overwhelmed and shocked.
The creative experience is something we talk about a lot on this program, Candice. I mean, for you, have you always known that creating was something that was just a part of you?
Yes. My mother is an artist. She was art director for South Country Central School District for like 30 years. So she's really been in that medium. My dad, whom I no longer speak with, my dad is an actor, director. You know, he has his own thing going on in Florida. Just my family, my great-grandparents were on vaudeville. You know, it's crazy, but I've always known that this is something I want to do.
We talk about a lot on this program about overcoming fear, because we found that a lot of people, Candice, as you know, allow fear to stop them. And do you think that has kind of helped you, having the variety of people around you that have been so involved in the creative experience? Do you think that's helped you overcome your own fear?
I've never, and I know this is going to sound like conceited or self-centered or whatever, I don't have a fear of performing. I don't have a fear of creating. I don't have a fear of being rejected. Quite honestly, my entire life I was bullied. From the time I was 5 until the time that I graduated high school, I was very badly bullied. And no matter what I did, I was on the Mickey Mouse Club and I got teased for that. I was in pageants and I got teased for that. I was a model and I got teased for that. You know, and it was like no matter what I did, I was getting teased. And, you know, when you create, as long as you're happy with it, does it really matter what anybody else thinks of you? So if you're not afraid of rejection, then there's nothing to be afraid of, you know, then you're fine. I have a lot of faith, and I am so blessed and so thankful for the people that do support me, that have rallied around me with this, because this film, the script, the story has just evolved from when I first wrote it until now.
So let's talk a little bit about What Happened Last Night. I know it'll be, of course, making its debut. What has that been like for you to see people equally invested in your own vision as you've been able to create this?
Again, it's just been overwhelming. People in the cast have asked me to write them scenes. Asked me, you know, can you please, you know, put me in here? Can you write a little bit more for me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And it's and I know I keep using the word overwhelmed, but there's no other word to describe it. And I'm very proud and I'm very humbled where I've got these big actors, you know, putting in their input to me, saying, this would be great. Can I have more? And it's like I made something that they really want. And it's amazing.
So for those who are just finding out about What Happened Last Night, we'll tell them a little bit later how they can stay connected with it. But tell us a little bit about the film.
Okay. Well, What Happened Last Night is a college comedy. It's a story about Danny and Sarah, who kind of have parallel lives. You know, they want to do well in school. They both work. They do all these different things. They have a friend. They both have exes. They both have heartbreak. And they both get dragged to this party. So it's basically about these two people that end up waking up in bed next to each other and that don't know what happened the night before. They don't know where their clothes are. They don't know who each other is. And they don't know what happened last night. And it's told in reverse time order. And it follows the story of actually what happened.
Oh, wow. So a lot for us to be able to look forward to. As I said, for those joining us on the television side here in Mississippi, they'll be seeing some of the other cast members in this segment. For those joining us online, they can find the other videos on CyrusWebbPresentsTV.com. So, Candice, tell our audience how they can stay connected with the film, as well as, of course, be able to follow it on social media.
Well, you can follow us on Twitter, which is at WHLN Movie. It's also at WHLN Movie on Instagram. On Facebook, it's WHLN movie. And the website, it's different. It's WHLNmovie.com. So there you have it. And we have a lot of actors like Cody Calafiore and Shelley Regner that have Twitter accounts, and Lauren Mayhew, and they're doing giveaways. Like Cody did a giveaway last night of a What Happened Last Night movie poster, and we've got like a t-shirt drawing going on. We've all different fun things that they could actually join in, and we'll talk back to you.
All right. Well, a lot for us to be able to look forward to. So again, everyone, Candice Cain has been our guest. Make sure you all go to the website. Again, it's www.WHLNmovie.com. Candice, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're excited to welcome to our program today Austin Davis. He's an actor and stuntman and a part of the film we're going to be talking about, What Happened Last Night. Austin, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing really good. Thank you so much for taking out the time to be with us today. Really appreciate it. Well, we'll tell our audience a little bit later how they can stay connected with you, Austin, but I want you to kind of reflect back on this journey for you, as what it's been like for you to do what you love in front of the camera and to see people respond to it. I mean, what has that experience been like?
It's been great, actually. I've actually been acting for a while now. I actually got my bachelor's in theater and performing arts and my minor in business. So acting is definitely something that I've been pursuing for a while. I was born in Savannah, moved to Florida, went back to Savannah for college, and right after that I just moved up here, and I've just been pushing it, trying to make it happen, you know? The way I see it, you got one life to live, so why not make the best of it, you know?
So what was it about acting that spoke to you, Austin, and made you say, this is what I want to do?
Well, I've always considered myself to be very charismatic and personable, and people relate to me. So I just figured, you know, I don't want to say I like attention, but I like the thought of bringing stories to life, using your imagination, seeing something on paper, and then being able to put it on film or television or whatever, and just see how you could bring it to life, make that vision happen.
Part of what you've been able to do over the years, Austin, is to slip into the skin of different characters, whether it's on television programs, shorts, and now films. I mean, is that part of the excitement for you, being able to bring different characters to life and to stretch yourself that way?
I love it. Just to be able to be versatile, to be able to play so many different roles, whether it's comedy, drama, whether I'm doing stunts, anything. I know I'll never be the person to play like Spider-Man or whatever, but I've always liked to be challenged with any role that is put in front of me, just to see how I could bring it to life. Right. And just to know what the director or writer sees, and then see how we both meet in the middle to see how I help them bring it to life.
Right. Well, part of the thing that happens with people like yourself that are in the public, Austin, is that, of course, you gain fans along the way. Have you gotten used to that idea of having people who actually follow your career and that are excited for the things coming to you?
Oh, it drives me even more, you know, just to see people who morally support me in what I do, and I get good feedback. It's awesome. The energy that comes to me, it just keeps me wanting to do more and more and more. And when people like, hey, that was great, that was funny, that was hilarious, that was awesome, it just makes me want to do more.
You mentioned that you probably won't be Superman. Of course, you know, these days with everything being revised, who knows about that? But I do want to ask you this. Do you find yourself to be your own worst critic? Because one of the things that happens as people are going throughout their careers is that, you know, they're going to have people who have opinions about what they do. But do you find that you're the hardest on yourself?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Before I moved to New York, I played sports my whole life for the most part. I played basketball, football, and I've been doing martial arts for over 10 years. However, throughout the sports and just throughout my acting career, my weight fluctuated. So there was a time that I was actually 385. And just through determination and knowing that this was the career I wanted, and actually it was my advisor in college, her name was Teresa Walker. I'll never forget it. She told me, she was like, look, Austin, you're a great actor, and I know what you want. I know you want to do this, but the kind of roles that you want to play, and you want to be versatile, she's like, you're gonna have to, fix yourself up. So I was like, look, that's what I got to do what I love, then that's what I'm gonna do. So by doing that, I dropped nearly 100 pounds, and just by that, I've been able to look inside myself and be like, all right, if anything, I'm gonna be the hardest on myself than anybody's ever gonna be. From that, I know that there's nothing I can't do as long as I stay on top of myself. So I would definitely say I'm my worst critic.
Yeah. Well, I know there are a lot of people out there in a variety of fields that can definitely relate to that. So, Austin, let's talk about what happened last night. For those who are joining us on the television side of our program, we actually spoke to writer and director Candice Cain earlier. But talk to us a little bit about your role in the film.
Oh, I love it. I love it. My character's name is Freshie, and he's a country boy. And it's great because I was raised in the country. So, again, I was born in Savannah, Georgia, right there, country. And then just being in Florida, the Panhandle near Fort Walton Beach, you have Alabama, you have Louisiana, and you have Mississippi. So I'm definitely familiar with the country, and just reading his lines and him coming from like a small town and him being like, oh, back in Iowa. I love it. I think it's great. And it's funny because I was talking to Candice, and when she was telling me when casting for this, everybody's like, well, he's black. There's no black people in Iowa. But it's funny just to be like, well, I'm that one black guy that will bring the story to life and be like, hey, okay.
Well, something for us to definitely look forward to. Look for Austin as Freshie in What Happened Last Night. We'll tell you here in a moment how you can actually stay connected with the film. But Austin, how can our audience stay connected with you?
Facebook, Austin Davis. I have a fan page, or even Instagram, Austin Davis 06. I'm always putting stuff up with me working out, me doing different projects, and any project that I'm in, I love to market it myself. Like, so even with this, anything I do, because I'm a part of it. I feel like, even though I know it's Candice's baby, but I feel like I'm a part of it, and by me helping, I feel like it's gonna just make it even more. I know some of the other cast members have a bigger fan base than I do, but the few hundred that I have could still expand the many that they have,
Exactly. So make sure you all are staying connected with Austin. And also, to find out more information about the film, you can go to www.WHLNmovie.com. We're excited to welcome to our program today Rebecca Boughton. She's an actress in the film What Happened Last Night. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later. But Rebecca, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
We'll talk to you about your character, Layla, and how you've been able to bring her to life a little bit later. But I want to talk about the experience of acting for a moment. I mean, what has it been like for you to do what you love and then to be able to see the response to it?
It's, every day is different. Some days it's a struggle, but most days it's just, I feel so blessed to be able to do what I love every single day. And, when I get positive feedback from whether it's fans, a director, it's just, there's nothing better in the world because it's tough sometimes. It really is. Yeah. But there's nothing like getting that really keeps you going.
Yeah. So what is it about acting that spoke to you? It's always a question I'm curious about.
I don't know where it began. I think I came out of the womb wanting to do this, as most actors are. This isn't something that you choose. This is something you have to do. And it's just, I started doing musical theater when I was younger, and it just kind of sprung from there. I decided when I went off to college that I wanted to start auditioning professionally, and here we are.
Here we are. You mentioned earlier about it can be tough, and I think that's what keeps a lot of people from doing anything, Rebecca, that they love to do. What is it that you think has helped to keep you moving forward, even with the challenges?
I think that every single day, especially with acting, you don't know what the day is going to bring. It's not like we get up and we go to our job that we get paid for every day and we know what money we're making or what projects we're going to be working on. Every day is different, and that they kind of say that once you finish one job, you are now an unemployed actor. So it is that constant, finding the next and finding the next. And I think just the uncertainty and the excitement of not knowing, you have to have a specific type of personality to love that and to have that drive you. Because I think it can be discouraging to some people, or some people just feel like this is what they're meant to do, and I absolutely feel that way. So.
Yeah. For those who are joining us on the television side of our program, Rebecca, we've been speaking to other cast members in this segment of What Happened Last Night. You bring to life the character Layla. What can you tell us about Layla?
Well, Layla is the Alpha Delta Pi sorority chapter advisor, so she's out of college, a little bit older than the rest of the cast. And Dave, Sarah's ex-boyfriend, we're at a bar and he's flirting with me, and things get a little out of hand. Mindy sees me and she's not too pleased.
So something for us definitely to be able to look forward to. And I should
Yes.
say what happened last night, as we talked about with Candice, is coming out in 2016. So a lot of great things going on with that. We'll tell you here in a moment how you can stay connected with the film. But tell our audience, Rebecca, how they can stay connected with you.
You can stay connected on Facebook, Rebecca Boughton. It's Boughton. Nobody knows how to say that. And my Instagram is actually my married name, Rebecca Heller, Heller.
All right. Rebecca, thank you so much for the time. For those staying connected with the film, you can go to www.WHLNmovie.com. Rebecca, last question for you, because I really like the fact that you mentioned the challenges, because a lot of times people see what happens in front of the camera and they think about all of the glitz and the glamour of what you guys do. What advice would you give to anybody out there who may be on the fence about pursuing their own goals or dreams? What would you say to them to try to encourage them to keep going?
I mean, you're the only person that can hold yourself back. It's just you, and you have to push yourself, and you have to believe in yourself. And it gets tough sometimes. It's whatever you want to do in life, you just have to remember why you're doing it and don't hold yourself back.
Great advice. Thank you so much for that, Rebecca, and looking forward to the next conversation with you.
You too.